So, hello students, Namaskaram. Hope you are fine, bright and tight. And we will study today's topic that I have taken a very cute and lovable topic, that is Coulomb's law. So, what is Coulomb's law? First, let's put the heading. Coulomb's law. So, what is Coulomb's law? See, Coulomb was a scientist. Definitely, he was a scientist like Newton. So, Newton has given the law na, that F equal to G, universal constant, m1 m2 divided by r square. And it tells that if two masses are there, one mass 1, mass 2, m1, m2, and the separation between them is r. So force can be written as G m1 m2 by r square. Same thing Coulomb said. What Coulomb said? That there is a charge particle. Let us assume two charge particles, 2-point charge separated by a distance r. So let us draw one point charges plus q here, another point charges plus q here, and the separation between them is r. Okay. Now let it is q1 and it is q2. So what he said, the force exerted by between the charges, it will directly proportional to product of the charges, magnitude of product of charges, and it is inversely proportional to distance of square between them. Okay. Now see, if we combine both, so F will be K, that proportionality sign will go, and one constant will come, proportionality constant K, Q1 Q2 by R square. It is similar na? It is analogy of Newton's law of gravitation. But Coulomb was a different scientist, Newton was a different scientist. Both are great at their time and place. Okay, don't compare any scientist with any. So this is the magnitude of force. Now the question arises, what is this K here? So write about this K. K is proportionality constant. And value of K is 9 into 10 to the power 9. So big. Now, what will be the unit from here? See, this is meter square, this is Coulomb square. So, this is Newton meter square per Coulomb square. Newton meter square per Coulomb square. Okay. Now, again, what we can write? First, we have to remove this. Okay, what we can write? This K is also can be written as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, having E and naught will be there. Okay. Now, what is epsilon naught? Here, epsilon naught is permittivity of free space, that means vacuum. Permittivity of free space. And when you put k equal to 9 into 10 to the power 9 and 4 pi. So epsilon naught will be given as 1 by 4 pi into 9 into 10 to the power 9. When you calculate now, so this will come 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12. Now see, we have to know how to find units, because units are main very much important point for any numerical or any concept. See here, epsilon naught is just reciprocal of this k. What is k? Newton meter square per coulomb square. So epsilon naught unit will be coulomb square, inverse of this Newton meter square. Now the question in mains or in NEET, they won't ask about this. They ask about this dimensional formula. What is the dimensional formula of epsilon naught and mu naught? In each and every year, I have seen this question, mu naught and epsilon naught. These two are very important to remember. Always remember this. So first of all, this dimensional formula for epsilon naught is coulomb square. That means A2 T2 A into T. Now per Newton meter square, Newton means M L T minus 2, and this is downward, so and meter square, this is L2 to the power minus 1. Okay, from here it is clear. So if it is clear, then we can move forward. Very good. Now see, m to the power minus 1, L to the power 213 minus 3, and minus 1 is there, no? So and t to the power minus 2 into minus 1, that is plus 2, and plus 2 or plus 2, t to the power 4. Now A2. So this is the dimensional formula for epsilon naught, and we have to remember this, a very important dimensional formula. Okay, but what is this epsilon naught? It is called permittivity of free space. Let us take an example of bucket. One is 10 liter bucket, one is 15 liter bucket. Which bucket will store more water? Of course 15 liter. Why? Because it has volume more than 10 liter. So it is the property of the bucket to hold the water. Likewise, it is the property of the medium to hold electric field. Understood? This is the dimensional formula. Now see, we have written the force. Okay, so force can be written as, again, force can be written as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q1 q2 divided by r square. This is the force, and this is the only magnitude. Okay, when we tell now force have two things, magnitude and direction as well. Now see, 1 2, the force in Coulomb's law or gravitation law is always along the line joining between them. If mass is there, mass will be line joining. Here is a charge will be line joining. So F will be here, F will be here, on the line joining between them. Understood? Just note it down, and then we will move forward. Pause the video, note it down, and then we move again forward. Now see, our next thing is, in vacuum, the force between two charges, 2 point charges, 1 2, that is F q1 q2, and having a distance r. So in vacuum, force between two charges will be F will be K or 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square. This is the force. Okay. What happens if we take these two charges in water? This is q1, this is q2. Again distance r. What will happen? It will increase or it will decrease. Something will happen. So to understand this, we have to understand one term that is called dielectric. Dielectric. And let us assume this is capital K, this small k, and that k q1 q2 by r square, and it is capital K. Okay. Capital K is dielectric. Dielectric of the medium. So, and dielectric can be written as K can be written as epsilon by epsilon naught. This is permittivity of free space, and this is permittivity of that medium, that water. And water has 81 dielectric constant. Okay, just remember it. So this is our formula. So epsilon can be written as K times epsilon naught. Just cross multiply it. Now come here. In water or in any medium whose dielectric constant with dielectric constant K. K is the dielectric constant, not that constant, proportionality. So in any medium with dielectric constant K, we can written the force between the charges will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon. This is not epsilon naught, this is epsilon for any medium. q1 q2 by r square. Now this F will be 1 by 4 pi K into epsilon naught into q1 q2 divided by r square. Now see, this is our force in vacuum. Force in vacuum. Okay. Or we can say F1, and this is F2. So from here, what we can write? F2 will be F1 by K. So it is decreased. The net force between two charges decreased by the factor K. Look, now there is 2 points are there. Okay, net force between two charges and force between two charges. Net force between two charges and force between charges. Force between charges. So net force between the charge will decrease when placed in any medium, but force between the charges will not decrease. It doesn't depend on medium or any presence of third charge. Okay, it will decrease, but it will not. It will constant. It will be constant. Now see, 1, 2, 3. The force between two charges doesn't depend on, does not depend on, depends on third charge, third one. That's why the Coulomb's law follows superposition principle. Okay, superposition principle. Now one by one we will see all the important points about Coulomb's law. Now see, important points about Coulomb's law. important points about Coulomb's law. Important points about Coulomb's law. Just write down this and then we will move again forward. We are talking about Coulomb's law. Means important points, of course. The very first point is it follows inverse square law. Inverse square law. 1 by r square. F is proportional 1 by r square. Second, the force is a central force. So this force will be conservative force. The force is a central force. So it will be conservative in nature. Conservative in nature. If it is conservative in nature, then we can also study the potential energy. So it also have potential energy. Third one, it is central force. Okay. Now the force between two charges is always and always line joining between them. Line joining between them. Okay, this is the line joining between them, like this. 1, 2 is there, so this is the line. Either this will be the force or this will be the force. Okay. The Coulomb's law, the force on the Coulomb's law follow Newton's third law of motion. This force follows Newton's third law. That means this is Q1, this is Q2. Okay. When we go to the vector form of Coulomb's law, we will study more about this. But from here, you just understood that F12 will be equal to minus of F21. And also a vector sign will be there. Understood? Vector sign will be there. Now, what is the next topic? Now see, we have penalty of question, means lots of question on Coulomb's law. The type question, we are just standard question, what we are taking first. Type 1. One more is there, but it is not important. That important point that it seems with I have just read in the book when you see Rustic Halliday, it says that this force comes due to photon interaction. That their graviton is there, no? For the graviton, this will be the force. and this force will be for the photon interaction. So just remember this. Type 1. This is Q1, this is Q2. And Q1, Q2 always will be in microcoulomb, millicoulomb. Coulomb is a big number. So Q1, Q2, 1 microcoulomb, 2 microcoulomb, and distance is 1 meter. So F will be K 1 into 2 divided by 1 square. This will be 2K. What will happen if we increase the distance or decrease the charge? Okay. If we increase distance or decrease the distance. So let R will be 2R. Means 1 will be 2. So F will be K into 1 into 2 divided by 2 square, that is 4, means 2K by 4. First it was K, 2K, now it is 2K by 4. That is 4 is decreased by 4 times. Force is decreased by 4 times. Inverse square law. Next. Now see. We are dealing with neutral points. Means neutral point are there. If we are taking more than 2 charges, then superposition will be valid. Superposition principle. If let me just remove this, okay. Question is find neutral point. This is Q1, this is Q2, and this is distance R. Find a neutral point where the net force on the third charge will be 0. So let us assume from this is Q1 less than Q2 and this is X. F1 on Q naught, let's assume this is Q naught, on Q naught will be equal to F Q2 Q naught. So just put it here. K Q naught Q1 divided by X square will be equal to K Q naught Q2 divided by, this is R minus X, R minus X whole square. This KQ naught will be cut. Now it will go down, it will go down, it will go up. Now R minus X divided by X whole square, it has square whole square will be equal to Q2 by Q1. Now R minus X by X will be equal to root under Q2 by Q1, and R minus R equal to, this will be go plus and this will X Q2 by Q1. X will be common and 1 plus Q2 by Q1 equal to R, and X will be, and remember X is the distance from the small charge only, R upon 1 plus Q2 by Q1, and this is our solution. This is the point where the net force on the third charge will be 0. Now, so this was the Coulomb's law, and from next classes we are going after the topics. Okay, many questions are there in Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law in vector form is there. It is very important to understand when there is more than 2-3 charges are there, then what we will do. So these are the methods we should know. Okay, So thank you for watching this video and sayonara.